Hey everybody, welcome back to Melodic Muse for Guitar World Magazine. We're going to continue looking at Ghost of You, and we're going to pick up the outro solo. So let's check it out. Let's dig into the solo here. We're coming out of this little two-note pull-off figure. But obviously, before we get into the solo, I always like you guys to know, what is the foundation, what is the harmonic structure? Because basically, the whole thing's in the key of G. We go to the key of G, but it's kind of ambiguous as what the tonality would be, because the bass, there's no other backing, there's no chords behind me, but the bass is playing G to B flat to F to C. And so basically I'm treating the whole thing as kind of a G minor pentatonic. So, but implied in my harmony is G minor, B flat major, F major, and then very importantly C major, as opposed to if it was C minor, we'd want that E flat. But you're always going to hear when that C is happening, you're going to hear me allude to that E natural. So I really like to kind of lead through the, even if the chords are just imagined, you're going to hear me kind of weaving my way through that harmony. So keeping that in mind, we get into this first lick, coming out of the ostinato. So just straight up the pentatonic to the C. And it's something melodically that I like to do, because if it's over that G minor, I'm going up to the note C. Then finally coming down to a B flat, which is that third. So that it's a phrase that's tension and release. And I really give a lot of emphasis to that B flat. I'm bending up a half step below it. And giving a little pinch harmonic. Okay. All out of the B flat major pentatonic or G minor pentatonic. And there we're landing on a C, which is now we're hearing the F. Okay. So kind of some twisting and turning, and I'm going to explain what I'm doing. The other thing to really point out is the band is playing straight A, doon, 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 but there's kind of an implied doon, 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 doon. So you'll hear some of my phrases being pretty straight, but there's sometimes where I'm really kind of swinging. More of a kind of a bebop swinging and phrasing, which comes from from listening to a lot of Charlie Parker and Cannibal Adderley and guys like that. But so you kind of see that the notes of the C7. We're back to the G. So. And that's just kind of driving home the tonic there. I'm down picking these consecutive from a bent F to G. And there I'm giving a chime pick harmonic from a bending from a G to an A. Even though that's over the B flat. And there on the F, I'm just sticking to minor pentatonic now. When I was going about recording and coming up with these solos, I did improvise when I did the basic track with the band, but I wasn't happy with a lot of the performances, but I would learn bits that I did like from the improvised solos, but then I gave myself permission to compose around, and so I could really come up with a solo that I was really happy with from start to finish without any spots that I wasn't happy with. And when I go back to learn these things, I recognize that, man, I never would have improvised this particular phrase with the fingering that I did. If you look at, it's just a very strange. And then we're into the C7 again. So I'm bending from an A to a B, and bending that half step, A to a B flat, sorry. But then hammering on a harmonic at what would be the 22nd fret. So just to get that octave above. And then just a straight ahead rock and roll. Kind of blues rock lick in that C7 position. Up picking that top E string, pull off on the B. Let's backtrack that. I slide up to now we're back to the G, so I slide up on the B string all the way up to the C on the 13th fret. The cool thing about this kind of chord progression is sometimes the harmony can do the work, and you can play the same lick. So on this phrase, I play the same thing, but the harmony moving kind of makes it sound cool just by changing what the bass note is doing. This little ascending pentatonic kind of, there's a few things that are very Steve Lukather in here. Case in point, Steve is, I've said it many times, probably my biggest influence overall. I just ate up everything he did, from the early Toto days forward, and every session he ever did, I was buying every record he was on, just because of the passion and the intention that was in every note he ever played. And so there's a good bit of his playing that certainly is still in my foundation. And this is one of those licks that really exemplify that. So it's that little slide down. And that's kind of a melody that comes in. You hear him do that kind of thing in lots of his solos. So part of me now, thank you, Steve.